Hey, do you like Gundam? Do you like watching us watch Gundam? You can go ahead and get double episodes of Gundam over on the Patreon if we get up to 30 Patreons. Go ahead and join and do your part, and you'll go ahead and get double the Gundam. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're watching some more Mobile Suit Gundam The Origin. We got some comments here, so let's see what people got to say. We got Lee Hongjun from uh the character rankings, and I'm sorry,
Why are you so confused all of a sudden? Just
I
keep
was reading like
reading.
Gundam Double O. What's this? Oh, we weren't watching Double O. It's like oh from the Double O character rankings. Okay, you wrote it weird. That's your
What
fault.
are you talking about? It's literally the title. It said for the audience now.
Leong
Wait, no.
says.
For the audience now, all it says is Leong Jung from Gundam 00 episode/character ranking. I do not know where you got confused.
Clearly, I was expecting the origin there, but oh. Anyway, he says about the fake GN drives is actually called GN Drive Tau. They are incapable of semi-perpetual energy generation or storage because they lack TD blankets, the aforementioned special core, a component relevant to GN particle generation and utilization. The GN particles produced from such drives disperse reddish-orange hues. The GN particles produced by earlier GN drive taus are generally safe but have toxic cellular effects when utilized as beams, such as preventing the application of regeneration treatment to injury sites. Louise Halvey and Lasse Aeon suffered from these toxic cellular defects, and they are caused by the particle's compression rate. By 2313, the Earth Federation managed to adjust the particle compression rate, and as a result, their beams are no longer toxic.
2312.
About when did the show take place?
I don't remember. This is all of something that a technical manual nerd is going to appreciate. And I said that that's not for me anymore. And again, to cover your confusion from before, we said that we would roll over any 00 comments into this until they went away.
Yeah. Just dipping back into Double O. I remember when we were thinking like the appearance of these drives would just be like driving a nuclear reactor around, just spreading radiation everywhere. I feel like having it just be the beams is still just a slight bit silly. A beam being toxic is so weird.
Well, I mean, technically it's not false, right? I had to get direct beam radiation done for the cancer shit, and
sure.
What is that but a toxic beam? Am I right? It's literally trying to kill the cells.
Mm-hmm. I guess it really does all drive back to what is a GN particle, where is it on the periodic table, or what kind of fundamental element it is. But we're not that hard sci-fi. We're not getting that answer. not precisely, not the way I'm thinking. But our next comment here is from Mr. Fricchio from Mobile Suit Gundam Origin Episode 1. I think the only reason Origin is considered alt-universe because there was some material, old manga / some guides, etc. that had some info for this period, and the mobile suits have a bit different model names and designs. So, what are your thoughts on alternate universe for the Origin?
Well, it's not. But this is not directed at Mr. Fricchio. This is directed at the concept of a little bit of our canon didn't go exactly as we wanted to, and now us, the fan base, is saying it's an alternate universe. All I got is one of these for those people.
It's complete dismissiveness, fair.
Yeah, well, look, I'm the bad guy. I'm always the bad guy. So, might as well just keep it up. I've told everybody how we're handling this. If they can't, if they can't handle that, keep letting us know.
I sort of follow like the production level of canonicity myself. Like if there's a movie, the movie is more canon than a series. A series is more canon than like a little manual that you got, right?
No, that entirely depends.
That's true. That's maybe like more fair of like a lot of like American stuff or like random stuff.
Well, no, it depends
And
on the
obviously, like a book
source.
and a movie are comparable.
It depends on the source. If the thing started as a TV series, the TV series I'd say was more canon than the movie.
Maybe. It's all a little ambiguous. Obviously, like I'm not making hard fast rules.
You literally just created the tier system, and you've already
I
abandoned
didn't
it.
create it. Star Wars fans did.
Star Wars started as a movie. That's why you say that. And I'm saying, well, what about Star Trek? Started as a TV show. So that's what
I
I
think the
find.
whales are more canon than every episode of the original series.
I have no problem with the whales. I'm saying that the whale episode doesn't contradict anything in the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a predominance of whales on Earth in any episode of Star Trek before the movie, right? So it doesn't contradict anything. That's the thing I'm saying here.
This is more like asking, like, did anything in the prequels contradict the original trilogy of Star Wars? And the answer is, like, yeah, absolutely. But does it super matter?
Well,
That's
no,
not the story
I mean,
you're there for.
the prequels didn't contradict anything because the original 3 movies didn't fucking talk about the past all that much. Because, I mean, at that point, you're just getting into, well, the first three movies kind of contradict themselves. Because they didn't know Luke and Leia were going to be related until the second movie. Anyway, I'm just being flippant towards the people who are going to be like, well, since this one mobile suit has a different name in this episode or this book than it does in this episode, that means it's an alternate universe. And I'm like, no, thank you. Just keep that to yourself.
I guess my final thought on the topic is canonicity is not a hard, fast thing. It is a discussion people have about how they like to interpret their media.
Actually, here, final thought. If canon is going to be a concern, then consider our watch through its own canon, where we're making canon what we want. This is the Stoneface Reactions Universal Century canon.
There you go. There, we've now have it named. Let's go check out what High Priest has to say from episode 1 as well. The origin is considered an alternate timeline. We're back to it. Can't escape. It's considered an alternate timeline because the actual manga is a retelling of the original Mobile Suit Gundam anime that tweaks it in places and adds new material and scenes. These movies cover all the new material that was created specifically for the origin. All this backstory was never animated before and only told through text side stories and extra materials. As far as the origin manga goes, this stuff was actually dropped in the middle of the story, and the manga itself started as a retelling of the original anime.
As I said, until something hard contradicts something that we learn here, like if I have to go back to the fucking chart and rearrange everybody because it turns out, oh, this guy was a bad guy the whole time, or something. Well, even that wouldn't change anything. We are in this fruck, Griff. We are in this fruck. The Stoneface Reactions, all Universal Century.
The thing is, like, I think this comment, like, answers it. It's like, it's not a change in continuity or alternate universes. It's just a reboot. It's just a reboot that happens in the middle of things. It makes so much more sense now. That just is context that like makes everything like very clear.
No,
right?
sorry, I'm just thinking if I had to add extra letters to my acronym, and I don't think I do. I just add an extra C when it still says SFRUC. Stoneface Reactions, Universal Century Continuity.
You need to add like TOSE there, then we could like spell fructose or something.
That'd be SFRUC. That'd be SFRUCTOSE.
Like your...
No, SFRUC. That's what we're in. This is the SFRUC.
So let's check out one more fruck then with Fail Fisher on episode 1, saying, look forward to the next 6+ years of watching Universal Century with you guys.
Oh, I mean, it will only take half as long if enough patrons show up and we do double episodes.
How many episodes do we have? Do you have like a read on that number?
I had one. You're asking me now when I don't have everything in front of me. Literally, I think I typed it up. I don't remember. I typed it up in a Discord chat once, and I can't switch views, otherwise your camera will go away. So will mine.
That's fine. That's fine. Like I said, I don't need a precise number.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can't.
Still better than watching One Piece, right?
I don't remember. Hold on. Do I have the thing open over here? I
think One Piece would be like about 10 years of watching.
I don't know. It was like some like 500 to 600 episodes, and like 4 or 5 movies or something like that.
Oh yeah, we're here for a while.
I had the math up and everything was done, but not the math. I had the full count and all the episode names. I had them all in chronological order.
But if you're willing to donate $1,000 to us on the spot, we'll do one episode of One Piece. How about that? I'll take that.
Well, I mean, technically, if you donate us $20 and become a gold tier patron, you can tell us what one episode a month you want us to watch of what show, such as we do for Razefon, Fate Zero, and now Durarara.
There we go. So I think with that, let's just go quickly over what happened last time in the Dawn of Rebellion.
Do you want to? Do you want to do the thought section first so you don't interrupt the thought? Your recap.
Maybe it's better to get an idea of what's going on first, and then you respond to it. Let's do that this time.
All right.
Okay. Following a security issue at the spaceport involving an antique gun inside Char's suitcase, Edward and Char switch their clothes, and Char boards Edward's flight, which is sabotaged by Zeon forces. Having faked his death at the cost of his friend, Edward assumes the identity of Char and undergoes training as a Zeon cadet. During training, Char befriends a young Garma Zabi. 2 years later, a Federation ship disobeys orders from Zeon traffic control and inadvertently crashes into and destroys an agricultural block, enraging the Zeon colonists and sparking open rebellion. Seizing this chance, Char convinces Garma to lead their few cadets on a daring night attack against the local Federation garrison, completely overwhelming them and forcing their surrender. Meanwhile, Garen Zabi orders the cancellation of the MS project due to a lack of progress, but Professor Tornev Y. Minovsky convinces him to resume the project after discovering a technological breakthrough. Elsewhere, a young Amuro Ray arrives at Side 7 with his father. So, that's what happened last time. So, Theta, what are your thoughts from last time? What do you got?
Well, first up is that, obviously. So put your drink down and click.
Never. But start talking what we got here.
Well, I need you to load up, so I'm waiting for you.
Alright, what we got here?
Just the update. I mean, obviously, I've stared at this for long enough, so it's literally I'm waiting for you to comment.
Yeah, so beat my Sherpa, guide me. What have we changed?
Well, that's what... Griff, you're the eyes of the audience. You haven't seen this yet. You need to indicate to me what you think is different.
Alright, let's take a look. So we got our little science crew here. Our Gundam manufacturing. Oh, that's black. That's impossible to see. Let me change colors on that.
What's black?
My markings.
Oh.
Yeah, we have our little Gundam manufacturing crew over here. Which is now filled out with the most important character that constantly gets name dropped but never seen. He's never seen again, right?
How would I know, Griff? How would I know?
I don't know. Actually, you said you were basing this on characters that will appear again.
We literally had a discussion. We literally had a discussion off screen about some characters that don't appear again. Should they be on this board or not? So you literally know that there are one-off characters on here.
Of course. So we at least fleshed that out there. We're pretty familiar with them. We've been seeing them the whole time. But over here, we have like Side 7 filling out, I think, is what this side is called. Johan Ibram Breville. Where was he? What was he up to?
He was in the background of the speech at the academy.
Okay.
Specifically, I believe it was either Giran or Dozel. Literally calls him out.
Is there a reason he's all the way over here? Is he actually hanging out on Side 7, or what's the reasoning behind this?
Well, you're the one. You literally just drew a hoop around them and said, "This is Side 7," and then asked me why I put this guy in Side 7 when you created the Side 7 circle.
Well, I didn't put him in because I didn't know, but thank you. That's what I need to know. So we're gonna have at least a Zeon presence there in Side 7. I'm going to assume first episode.
He is literally Federation. You can, one, look at his uniform and know that he's Federation. Also, he was called out for being Federation at the ceremony.
All right, then. So we have our extended Side 7 family, then.
I don't even know if these two are at Side 7.
They definitely are. I actually think they were on the shuttle that Amuro
I think
Ray
they
was
owned the shuttle. I don't even know if they're on the shuttle. I think that's their business.
I would assume that they are highly associated with it, and therefore I'm going to place them in there. I think it makes the most sense. It's also the Amuro Ray bubble, right?
Again, don't know why you're including this guy.
Yeah, he's there.
He's just making arbitrary circles and then connecting them. I just understand that they're all connected anyway, which is the entire purpose of the board.
Right. And then, of course, we have Char's new inner circle, which is supposed to kind of be like this at the moment, which means we kind of have to go back around some of our original crew. But yeah, we've killed Lino. Xena is our connection over here to Dazzle. And of course, Casval is directly contacting Garma. So, we have an interesting into the faction. We were commenting about that last time. And I guess we're still kind of pondering like the extent of how he's going to take his revenge and maybe what he even thinks of Garma himself, who obviously was not involved in anything at the time. He was a kid, like him.
Yeah, I'd imagine relatively the same age. At least that's the appearance. I think I made that statement in episode 2 at least.
Let's see. We have Xena. We have one scene with Xena and Dozel, don't we? Basically, where she goes to the office to distract him. Why the green line? Do you just assume it's a good student-teacher relationship?
Well, she's a Zeon person, right?
Okay.
So is Dozel.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, she even shows up when he's like driving back out to the front lines. I mean, I don't assume that he's immediately going to like execute her for helping his I would say son, helping his nephew.
Cue the first 5 seconds of this episode or something, right?
Well, I just mean that they're on the same side, and obviously they said the plan was to distract him. So I just assume it's a distraction and not like we're enemies now.
Right. So in that case, I don't think there's any further update, but if you look carefully, you can actually see the Haro now has a gun.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any arms.
Dangerous. It's firing. It's firing at casval.
Well, no. I mean, if you see... I think I'm drawing in black.
Yes, you are.
If you see, it's quite clearly killed Caswell's mom.
Oh my gosh, the Haro was responsible the entire time. So, we now know Casval's story of revenge against the Haro. But I believe that is all the updates to our little chart for right now, and all the characters we've currently got ongoing. Now we get to see who dies this episode.
Well, I have a rather long, rambling bit of thoughts to go through.
Sure, go right for it. What do you got?
Char's handling of Lino, I think, goes to express his ability to take on the long-term view of his plans. He had a very convenient moment to kill the man the very first time he brought up what he knew, but killing him there would have raised questions. He waited and used Lino like a pawn to his ends, getting him killed in the middle of a fight where there would be less ability to question what happened.
Yeah, I think at the time I was commenting that he very much took the opportunity that was in front of him.
Well, I mean, it's still
like engineering anything.
It's still questionable, though. Literally, at any point, Lino could have changed radio frequencies.
I suppose, but he was shouting into it in the first place.
He was shouting on a private channel between him and Char that Char told him to be on. At any point, Lino could have changed frequencies, told everybody he was there, and then openly questioned, "Hey, why didn't you tell them I was here?"
Yeah. I'm pretty sure for like most communications like that, you can just choose to quote broadcast all or just widely across everything and just annoy everyone. Nobody likes that, but you can do it.
Yeah,
Good
so
for that
he
situation.
had every opportunity to save himself.
Well, panic makes us do funny things, right?
Our three secret Dozel mobile suit crew guys, Miguel, Ortega, and Mash. Going back to episode 1, those were the guys who were with Char during the intro that took place during 79 when they were fighting the fleet alongside Dozel.
So our first mobile suit pilots will be alongside Char in the future. Very cool.
If we were pitching Elseworlds to the UC timeline, I wouldn't mind seeing one where Jimba Rawl didn't make it to Earth. Everything in episode 1 plays out the same, except Jimba gets killed in Munzo and just the kids escape. They still wind up in Spain and would get adopted by T-Blow. Without Jimba there calling on Anaheim and stirring up the Zabis, I don't think the assault that killed Jimba would happen. They never would have been sent off to Loum to have met the
The Anzaballs.
Aznables. Yeah, I think I just mistyped the name, and I'm like, shit, why do you say this? Edward wouldn't be tailed constantly in public to the point of outburst, wouldn't have met his double in Char. Things could vector off in entirely new directions.
Mm-hmm.
Just if Jimba didn't make it to Earth.
I think the big difference between Jimba not being Earthbound is specifically the attack, right? Which seems like it becomes more of a motivating factor to Casval. Because he is just kind of like upset in general, but he's on Earth, he doesn't have any way forward, and he's just kind of like vibing in his surroundings and just, doing lessons, I suppose. It's only like you said, once he gets up there to the new station, and of course finds an opportunity of all opportunities, his twin, that he goes ahead and goes with his crazy plan.
Right. If Jimba doesn't do everything that he does on Earth, none of that shit happens.
Yep.
It's a minor thing to notice, but I bring it up since no other characters in the show do it, or I guess even have the opportunity to do it. All the Zabi kids' uniforms are different colors. He's got color-coded kids.
You know what? I'm gonna bet Deikun is the kind of father who doesn't remember their names and uses the color coding for that.
We know that's wrong already because he constantly refers to them by name.
He just has that expression, At least the one I'm looking at over here.
That's how he always looks, apparently. Something kind of funny to consider. Original Char agreed to swap places with Edward in order to get on the flight to Zeon, because if he missed this flight, he would be late to his matriculation ceremony. So they do this whole switcheroo, and original Char gets killed in the explosion, and Edward, now Char, has to take the next flight, which is tomorrow morning. Except that we then see Char at the matriculation ceremony anyways.
I guess maybe he was just making a big fuss and not being honest about it. That's my initial
No,
interpretation.
it was original Char that was making a big fuss about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not Edward egging him on in order to do it. Edward, on his own accord, said, I'll be late for my matriculation ceremony if I don't get on this flight right now, leading up to him doing the switcheroo that gets him killed. And then Edward, as Char, gets on the flight tomorrow and still makes it there in time to get to the matriculation ceremony that the original Char was so worried about missing.
The only extra bit of possible explanation I could put on top of it to like smooth it all over is OG Char was having a Karen moment. It was not true on his own front because he was trying to scare the staff into letting him go.
I don't think that's either neither fair nor true.
True.
He was very much freaked out. He wasn't in a this is a lie, I'm trying to do this for my own good frame. He was in a God, I'm gonna shit my brains out if I don't get on this flight because I'm going to miss everything that's important to me. Because he has the same energy on the flight when he's pulling all the papers out, realizing his papers aren't there.
Yeah.
And he never has Karen energy previously, so...
He seems too nice overall, right?
Well, up until the I believe in the Nazi regime shit he's talking at the dinner table.
Believe it or not, there are still very polite Nazis out there, but that still does make them Nazis.
You said nice.
It's nice, polite, roughly the same thing I'm trying to get across.
Speaking of the matriculation ceremony, it feels like Guren is using this opportunity to refine his speech-giving skills. His speech has future echoes of his more famous one to come, but also feels like it's taking notes from Zeon's writings as inspiration. I guess what better an audience to try out your material on than a bunch of academy kids and their parents? Work it all out before you try it on the public at large.
Honestly, that is a very classic way of kind of like building up to a bigger thing. At least when it comes to like, doing speeches or writing. You start with like your first draft, you go ahead and practice that, and you just can't keep refining it over time. For him, that he has a speech in mind and is building up to it over time, it kind of makes perfect sense to me. It's just how you do it, really.
Something you said there, but I don't want to address it because it could be spoilers.
Sure.
We do see how justified the space noids are for wanting to rebel. What with the Federation ship being the cause of the crash, then Federation forces firing on a crowd to suppress the protests.
Mm-hmm.
Despite Zeon being the known bad guys of the series, Origin is doing a pretty good job of making them sympathetic.
Right. I think we did have like some mention of that before too, like before the drunk driving incident, because I can't imagine why he crashed anyway. They are colonies, and like we see like in the last episode with the way they're treating the self-defense forces, those are colonial forces. They're not meant to fight threats. They're there to make it seem as if they are equal despite having nothing. They're very much right to want their independence, like we've said. But it's apparently the extent that they go and the things they do in the future, and of course the Nazi stuff. That will make it very readily apparent how evil they are. So that'll be fun. That'll be fun to see.
If the blue flash last episode wasn't showing some new type ability, then the red flash when the other student touched him, Char, and then went into a pain-induced shock, surely must have been. I can see no other way to explain that whole fight. Even then, Char flicked his fingers off of him, and the guy went sailing across the quad and broke through some bricks on impact. That's been the most anime thing in the show so far. I honestly have no idea what that was. I always heard new type stuff was more of a mental thing, but that was like a mob psycho move.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I don't have an explanation for the entire throw him through the brick building kind of thing.
That wasn't through the
Except
brick
maybe
building.
low gravity and poor construction. I don't know.
It wasn't a brick building. It was like the sidewalk thing of like bricks along the edge, and he's like burst through. Like, I don't know. I can't give you an example with one hand. It's perpetually going to be off screen. I don't know, like from here to here, like that high, of like a little
curve,
brick.
Yeah.
But he still got thrown. The dude got thrown a distance with this motion.
Mm-hmm. It is very silly without like additional context, but we're probably not specifically getting that, and I don't think we're going to see it again. That's gonna be it, I think. Maybe this was their attempt to like broaden their powers or something in writing.
It almost feels like without Minovsky and Char, the 1-year war might not have happened or been regulated to a few small rebellions across some Banshee. The word I had to look up to know meant the colony tube things themselves were called.
Yeah.
Apparently a side is a grouping of them and the Banshee themselves. That's why you see the individual names and the side number. Char is pushing the battle cry of the Spacenoid uprising harder than deikun ever wanted to, or even wanted to, creating the situation for the fight to start. And had Minovsky not gone out of his way to sell Gurren on the mobile suit idea, instead of canceling it like they were moving forwards with doing, we would have seen fights like the trainees had at the academy, World War II style pillbox defenses and artillery pushes.
Mm-hmm. It's always funny to kind of look back and see, like, where could this have all been stopped? Like, I think the History Channel used to build its brand entirely upon that. It's like, what if, like, Hitler didn't have, like, 2 gas cans in his back porch or something?
Well, you're always going on about, was it Big Man history or something like that?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in
that
this,
one man's responsible for everything.
well, in this instance, we're literally seeing 1 or 2 people being responsible for everything. Literally, if Minovsky didn't push, if Gurren showed up that day, said, no, the mobile suit project's done, if Minovsky hadn't been there in the hallway to give him a CGI presentation, literally, the Gundam shit wouldn't have, or the mobile suit shit wouldn't have come up. That would have been done, and we would be fighting with tanks and artillery.
Yeah.
And if Char hadn't done all of this shit, we wouldn't have the start of the armed rebellion. Literally, the narrator tells us this was the beginnings of the 1-year war. However,
and it's all his fault.
However, despite the fact that it's 0076 right now, and the 1-year war is 0079.
Got a couple more years.
It's the 100 Years War that lasted, what was that, 80, 90 years?
You know what? I'm actually waiting for the time where there's a war that's like, yeah, it started in 74 and it ended in 72. Just to mess with people reading, you know?
When we are seeing Minovsky's CGI presentation of what a mobile suit will be, with schematics of a prototype named WAF in the background, he says, Minovsky particles block the propagation of electromagnetic waves and inhibit radar and electronic circuits. So beyond anything else, does that mean all mobile suits are basically stealth assault suits as well? If so, that would explain why they are so hard to shoot, because you'd be eyeballing every shot, at least until someone develops some other method of long-range detection other than radar.
Right, yeah. That's kind of the information we now have on the table, because it's why they're good instead of tanks, because now tanks are reduced to sightline instead of over the horizon. They are stealth units, yeah. They're there, but you can't target.
I'll be honest, my first thought about it was just a swipe back to our Witch from Mercury conversation. I don't know, connect a bunch of Haru to some telescopes, and you could eyeball track them with an AI.
The Haru is controlling the Gundam.
No, the visual. We said you'd eyeball the Gundams, so you'd have the Haru eyeball the Gundams and just keep tracking that way.
Alright, what else?
I had it in my head to question whether Spacenoids would be inherently weaker due to the rigors of having to go back and forth between zero gravity and the centrifugal force the sides have that must imitate gravity. The thought process being that the Earth Force soldier, at least the ones from Earth, might be inherently stronger. But then during the training sessions we see, it looks like they might be compensating for that in other ways. Zeon training has them basically performing a ruck march with 40 kilograms of gear on. Now, do let me know, dear commenter, if I get this wrong. But normal U.S. ruck marches tend to top off at 30 kilograms of weight, the Army and the Marines.
Mm-hmm.
And I only saw the Navy SEALs listed as going up to 45 kilograms at the most. Even then, the Zeon cadet has to do 30 kilometers as well, when the typical ruck march is about 19 kilometers here. So Zeon is pushing its cadets as hard as the Navy SEALs when it comes to a ruck march, it seems.
They could also be like arbitrarily increasing it just for that purpose, yeah. And they're like actual packs or lesser. There's probably a good number of reasons for it. Obviously, the amount of weight any soldier carries changes all the time. But it's a good thought. I think it's a good theory. I like it.
We joked about them having no control over the rain, but one cadet made a remark that I think we missed in our flippancy. He goes, "Man, they are really making it come down," which I guess makes sense considering the other guy didn't use the word predict anywhere when talking about the rain, and knew exactly how much of it was going to fall. So yeah, take that, Canute.
I will hold out my hands and stop the mobile suits.
I mean, good, probably.
Probably good.
I think the underlying thing between Char and Garma's relationship, beyond Char's drive to get closer to the Zabi family to enact his revenge or his sociopathic acting to remain distant from his true feelings, I feel like there was something when Garma was telling Char that Zabi men don't fail, and that he doesn't have to understand that, where one may think the reference to the Zabis would infuriate Char. I think I saw a moment of understanding there. In the second and first episode, all we got was Jimba going on about what the Zabis did to Zeon and how they would be made to pay. I mean, he gave Edward classes on it back in Spain. I'd like to think Char looked back on that scene with a glimmer of recognition for the pressure their respective adults were putting on their shoulders outside of their own desires. I could be entirely wrong, but that was my read. I also feel like every time Char also challenges Garma to not rely on the influence of his name, like he's trying to distance Garma from everything he plans to do to that family. I mean, the sociopath stuff comes back again later to make me think otherwise too, but I guess there's just hope there for a legit human connection beyond his plot for revenge.
Right, it comes down to the complexity of the character. I think it is a good read that he probably does have sympathy there in those moments. Like, he was definitely expressive about it. And of course, Casval is not dumb and obviously recognizes probably a lot of this too. Uh, but I think that would be a fun look into the future, a fun interpretation. Do these two actually become fast friends with him trying to distance himself from the name? I I think it would be funny. I think it'd be interesting to see. But hey, we'll get there eventually. Some of you already have seen it.
Edward's grave on Loum said 57 to 74, meaning Char is currently 19, current date is 76 when we see the grave. And also means that as we rush forwards towards 79, that he will only be 22 during the war. Ironically, it also means that despite the fact that our recap in the start of the episodes are framed as a history of Zeon Deikun and his influence over Munzo, the fact that they also start in UC 57 makes the entire recap of the story of the world from the birth of Casval.
Yeah, no, I figure that's kind of the point, right? This is the biography and backstory of those characters, right? It's the entire focus.
The recap doesn't talk about Casval, it only talks about Zeon, but it doesn't start talking about Zeon from anywhere before the date that Casval is born.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to figure out what this means, or if like there's a good like interpretation or angle for it, but just like not coming to me, I think.
Also, just what the fuck to opening fire on a peaceful crowd of protesters. We got a long shot of the crowd. It wasn't an armed mob of rioters, because of course not. This is their home. I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get to see Rambo Rawl and his small connected group of fighting people, or people fighting against the Federation. We saw him throw down in a bar over a matter of words. You'd think we see him on the streets going urban warfare on the war criminals of the Federation.
Yeah, I guess the question is, did Rambo Roll have any organization he was taking care of, or was he just busy being drunk for a few years? I think the fact that he's now working with Dozel and did that pretty willingly, I'm betting on he's actually drunk and doesn't have any, like, actual power in play right now.
I also appreciate now that we've just discovered that we both say his name differently.
Oh, well, what do you say?
You say it again.
Ramble?
No, well, now you're just saying a different, wrong name. You said
Ramble?
Ramba. Yeah, you keep saying Ramba. I keep saying Ramba.
Ah, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's a different accent. I see now.
Well, it's not an accent. I'm just giving it an ah sound, and you're giving it an ah sound. So,
Mm-hmm.
different connotations of the letter A.
Well, all right, what else you got?
Can I just take a moment to say, Lino Fernandez, rather, world's greatest detective. Shame he couldn't spot danger right in front of his own face.
It was honestly like a joy watching him continually try to prod our casval as fake char. It's like, hey, yeah, you remember this? Yeah, just like this. Yeah, come on, man. When's your eye color
Well,
change?
I mean, there's a difference between identifying that this guy in front of you isn't Char.
Mhm.
It was a detective style leap to figure out that he's Casval.
I mean, if he grew up on the same place, there's only one other person that looks like him, right?
He grew up with Char, the original Char.
Yeah, and they went to the same school for a while.
He went to a high school with that guy.
Yeah. So at some point you hear like, "Oh yeah, I hear someone staying with you. They look just like you. They're going to the school now."
He never met Casval. He never met Edward. He was also Edward at that time, which means that he
Yeah, yeah.
also had to figure out that Edward was Casval. Even if what you're saying is true, which I don't think it is, he
Oh
still had
yeah.
to double back on that one and figure out because
Yeah, that's an extra leap there then. Yeah, you're
this dude figured out 3 alternate identities.
it was his superpower. He was a new type.
That's what I'm saying. Dude's the world's greatest detective.
Alright. What else you got?
Garma Zabi is such the weak point of the Zabi family, not because of his easily swayed personality or unsureness of himself, but the fact that everyone loves him to the point of using him as a threat against one another. Even the psychopath put him in her car to make sure he was safe when she car bombed her brother.
Oh gosh, yeah. The favorite child, the one everyone dotes upon, and yet also expects the entire world of. The Dobby family is a land of contrasts.
The Dobby family?
Sorry, Zabi family. Why was
Yes,
thinking
I appreciate that
Dobby?
you, yeah, gave him a sock. Anyway,
Thinking My Hero Academia here, the Dobbies.
one thing I appreciate in the animation is all of the people that glance over at the main characters talking. In nearly every scene where people are stuck close to one another, some random stranger will look over at the conversation. It's very true to life, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, that guy is me. I'm the one. I'm the one listening to your conversation. Hi, how's it going?
Well, no, like when they're at the
Yeah.
matriculation ceremony, literally people in the background are just like, just looking down at them. Or when Amuro and his dad are talking in the shuttle, or not
Mhm.
the shuttle, the I don't know, elevator ride to the entrance to the side.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just random people will just be like talking to each other. And look over at Umbro and his dad talking because they're the only people talking in the moment. And just like go back to their shit.
Most interesting thing happened in the room. What's up with this kid and his Haro? Let's find out.
I think it's just funny because these background people aren't just standing stock still or having
Mhm.
5 frames of animation between one another, indicating a conversation is going on. They're doing shit, and then they're paying attention to other people, and then they're looking back to each other again.
To be an extra who's a map painted in, right?
That's it.
All right. So I think that covers most of our thoughts. We've gone over most of the things that kind of happened last time, and a whole bunch of our thoughts over it. So I say let's go ahead and watch and see what happens this time. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can follow us over on the Patreon. It's only $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click that link down in the description. Join the Discord. find our Gundam channel and join everybody else that's enjoying our Gundam reactions.
Earth.
We get another 10-minute recap.
I think so.
彼らの未来は地球の周りに建設された巨大なスペースコロニーに委ねられたのだ。
Where will it drop us off this time?
その第二の故郷は約束された楽園ではなかった。宇宙世紀0057。 地球から最も離れたサイド3に
I just think it's funny. We do get the same recaps, but get different animations somewhat.
Yeah, we got the 3D bus of Zeon Zub Daikun here now.
Yeah, because last time it was actually showing us like the landscape and a future statue of him.
The water cannons. Oh god, that guy ate shit. They actually animated someone like doing a flip after getting hit.
Isn't he usually known as his right hand? Not his right arm. Oh, we never saw that poster before, I don't think. Oh, we probably did.
Deikunの妻アストライアは幽閉され、その子キャスバルとアルテイシアは
Casval's still not the one getting hugged.
Oh, he always had his back turned, even when they were sleeping in the same bed.
Ah, yes, the first murder.
It's not murder, I'm self-defense.
True. The first kill, then. Well, I don't know. Psychopathy does start early. I give that like a 9 out of 10. Good for him.
I
mean, it was his own fault. He called Anaheim. I don't imagine we're gonna see T-Blow ever again.
I have to feel that way too, right?
Well, because Sayla is going off to medical school or something, which means she's never coming back here again either, I don't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Or Lucifer.
I think that's also like one of the most expressive faces we see like Casval have too, right? Where he's just like absolutely torn up and can't comprehend the death of his mother.
I read that more as anger.
It was definitely a confused mix of emotions.
I don't know. It looked to me like he was so angry he was about to throw up. One of those scenarios. Look where you're going.
Ah, he hit the tree.
Yeah, his hand just kind of whipped past like he fell or something. And here's the new extra 3 minutes of recap. See the matriculation ceremony. That he was oddly only minutes late for.
It was a very fast ship. I almost forgot about that light.
I appreciate that they have camo for space-based operations. Because I
Well,
guess
if they're-
all sides have the same insides, maybe.
I mean, I guess if they're using natural landscapes so it feels more at home, then it makes sense to have at least some. Though I'd expect, like, maybe more urban camo. And the drunk driving incident.
I don't know why you kill on a drunk driving incident.
How else do you explain them flying that terribly?
He didn't fly terribly, he flew straight ahead, assuming that the Space Noid ship was going to turn. You don't have to be drunk to get into a game of chicken, Griff.
It probably helps. Can't forget the property, right?
Well, what is land but property, Griff?
Wear this football helmet, Char.
They do have pretty good reload times on that.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
watching it, and then as it's scrolling by, one cannon that fired, or one tank that fired, or artillery, whatever, fired. Also fires again as it's scrolling off the shot.
They're well trained.
Oh wait, I can change the frequency. Oh, dead. Also seems like a pretty weak tank.
It did get hit by like 5 rockets.
Every single one of them pierced its armor. If you look at it, even the first one goes right through it. See, the starting point of the 1 Year War, even though it's 3 years before the start of the 1 Year War. Which I don't think we got told about until just now in the recap.
Yeah.
I don't think they told us what he was working on either.
Well, I think we have an idea now.
Recap is spoiling shit.
Yes, show, stop telling us new stuff we don't know.
Not in the recap, anyway.
Origin 4, an Amara Ray story.
I mean, I guess they must have already pushed the Federation off of Munzo, considering they were fighting in the streets earlier.
Yeah, I think they're all clear. Just cement that in.
See, color-coded.
責任者は私の弟だ。それでも引き渡せと。弟だろうがなんだろう。
That's the guy you were asking who he was.
話は伺った。レービル将軍。即下の将兵の被られた被害には哀悼の意を表する。直ちに相応の処置を取る。ただし、少々のガルマではなく、監督責任を負っているしかるべき立場の者に。
Hey Dozel, you ready to take the fall again?
Nah, not gonna throw our favorite son under the bus.
災いを糧としてこれを機に連邦との新しい関係を築きたい。ただし資産の没収と連邦軍の完全なる撤収を前提として。
Ah, here we go. Now it's actually happening. It must also be a new type 2 throwing Dozo around like that.
No, Doze was just afraid of his dad.
Oh, poor Dozel. It wasn't even his fault.
もしかして大事なお話中でしたか？
ああ、もう終わった。ガルマ、わしの部屋へ来なさい。
お父様、ご
Is he like
悪いですね。
to see Dozel trembling in fear like that? You can only assume how he was raised by this man.
Oh, yeah.
ザビ家の男におなりね。
そうですか。
Of course she would think so. Good job on insurgent actions. I'm an expert on them.
粗末にしてはいかん。ギレンもドズルもキシリアもたけだけしい性格だ。だが、お前だけは気性が優しい。お前は士官学校に謎入れず、学者にでもすればよかった。ここへ来い、ガルマ。ここへ来て、わしの。
I am afraid.
Something's terrible is gonna happen now that we have like a soft, gentle family moment, right?
No, that Deikun is abusing his kids in a way that I don't want to talk about.
いえ、暖かいですよ。とても。
そうか。お前の頬も温かい。しばらくこうしていてくれ、ガルマ。不憫なことをした。
Is he literally about to die?
Again, Griff, you're not worried about the right things. Death isn't what I was concerned about there.
I got a vibe of what you're thinking, but also I don't think that's where we're going at all.
Well, then you don't think hard enough about things, Griff.
That's also true.
いい覚悟だな。よし。どうする？これから。
地球へ行ってみようかと思っています。この機会に。
機会にか。
では、シャーズナブル候補生、兵卒として除隊します。お世話になります。
Mustering out.
ああ、元気でな。
あ、大佐殿。
Ask about the mobile suits!
もしも再招集されることがあれば、その時はモビルスーツのパイロットの任に当ててください。
モビルスーツ
Oh, they don't exist. Ah, he just doesn't even try. Fair enough.
ご配慮に感謝します。
It's a little weird plan to muster out.
I love the extra little touch that his hair just doesn't obey.
今日は危ないものを持ってはいないだろうな。
I don't need it every time.
俺はこの職を辞することになった。隕石辞任、腹切りである。
はい。
こんな男だが時には傷つくこともある。
はい。
人に慰めてもらいたいと思う時もある。妻を持とうと思ったことはなかったが、恥ずかしながら今思っている。
This is entirely the family gets moments of sympathy today.
I think the thing here is the only matter of grace in this situation, because I have no fucking idea how old Dozel is.
Right.
He could be a lot younger than he looks. He is middle child.
still, it is hilarious in concept that the only thing that moves him is someone putting him to gunpoint.
Now, why are we going to Earth?
What's the game plan here?
Name of the episode.
I want to try taking a guess of
Oh, is
where
this
they
the
were.
guy that assaulted them in Spain? You know, the guys that were standing on the cliff edge?
It's possible, but I don't recognize them.
Because you saw them once. Oh, no, never mind. I know who this is. As someone who's watched 2 episodes of the original Gundam, I know who this is.
Yeah, we're getting set up for things we don't even know yet.
I know who she is. I don't know what happens to her. I don't know where she comes from. So this is my first time figuring out where she comes from.
Well, they've spread the mobile workers out fast if this one's like on Earth as a forklift now.
He's gaining experience with mobile workers.
最低だな、ジオニック社の野郎。あれのリース、もう打ち切りだってよ。本当なんすか、それ。ああ、雲行きが怪しくってな。下手をすると戦争になるかもしれねえからだってよ。
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Get experience on the mobile worker you can use, so you're more experienced for mobile suits later.
最低のジオニック社で開発部にいたんですがね、クビになったんですよ。ほんと最低ですよ、ジオンは。
I do find it funny he's still disguising his eye color even around people who have no idea.
He's got a long-term... It's the prestige, man. We talked about this.
Yeah, that's true. He's setting it all up.
カジノまで見せ開きかよ。また負けだ。
For half a second, I thought that might have been our girl that we haven't seen in a while. Come on.
Just happening to hang out in this place.
We haven't seen her in a while, man. That's all I'm saying.
そこをどけ、貧乏人。当たった。一目かけで36倍。ネクストゲーム。
Yeah, overly fancy gambling. Let's go.
I've seen plenty of game shows to know that scrolling at someone's back never works when you're trying to give actual information.
I guess they have it practiced a little bit.
I guess maybe you're just doing numbers. Yeah. Tell them how you're cheating at roulette. Now tell them how even a dealer could cheat at roulette. Magnetic ball, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. So what's going on? What's our story?
Yeah. 何してるんだい？昨日は叱られたのか？
どなたですか？
昨日の客の一人。なぜ途中から外した？
あの女の人が下手だったから。
There we go. That's a good explanation.
私に話しかけるとひどい目に遭うのよ。
おお、怖いんだな、あのおじさんたち。それは君の家族か。大勢だな。どこにいるんだ？
ムンバイ。
インドか。遠いな。帰りたいだろう。
うん。
Yeah, I guess we are technically in the Middle East. I don't know where
私が
the name that they showed on screen actually is in the real world.
Right. I feel like the place they're
American.
at might actually be a fake name.
水に濡れたからこうなりました。もう元には戻らないでしょうか。
できるよ。データで補正してプリントし直せば。
本当？じゃあお願い。そうして。一枚しかない。
Maybe in 2000's anime version, that makes sense. Can't imagine saying that in the 76 version.
Imagine, you know, the older anime just predicting the future.
いい船をお持ちだ。安い買い物じゃなかったはず。
That's throwing it through a wall, huh?
天才ギャンブラーの旦那。
Excuse me?
I mean, well, the money a casino pulls in and pulls out. But you could hire some pretty expensive, you know, heavy hitters to take care of shit for you.
Oh, I thought they were about to shoot him on the dock itself. It's like, what a high-paying assassination.
Shiksa! このままじゃ済ません。お前な、連れ込むなよ、あんなやつ。
仕方ないでしょ。ついてきちゃったんだから。
マナウスの田舎マフィアなんかに。
It didn't look like he even got in the car.
Maybe he just jumped on top.
あんたの連れだってさ。
ああ、来たか。
Spooky guy.
よかったな、無事で。
I feel like there's somebody fucking behind him or something.
俺はあいつらの子分になるよ。あいつらの方がもっと金をくれる。
よくもそんなことが言えたな、この恩知らず。今まで散々いい思いをさせて。
We saw how scary he was with that before.
I'm glad we're done with this guy. He didn't add a lot of fun to the show, I'll say that.
Oh my gosh, this is some magic power level of stuff. Even Char's free.
I just imagine they're all fucking new types. The girl and big head here. And obviously Char. Literally, it takes you a bit of wind up to throw that thing.
Yes, she is, you're right.
You just cock that shovel?
Yeah.
I'll show you do what I did to a knight in Spain!
Yeah. No way, not after getting knocked off trajectory like that. No way.
New type, man, new type.
Oh, crazy.
What do your construction
super cool,
company
though.
crew think about this?
Oh, they're just watching.
They know they're the guys who hired that one guy, apparently.
Tate, 僕について走れ。遅れるな。
ジャブローの工事屋さんは大事なお客さんだ。こっちも荒っぽいことはしたからね。あんまり手をやらせるな。
I guess to be fair, they're shining all the spotlights down on the thing. Everywhere else is darker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, time to send in the dudes. Can one forklift operator defeat the entire mafia? Find out today.
I mean, it's more like a... Not a... I guess bulldozer?
Yeah, yeah.
あれは何だったんだろう。
あれ
見えるはずもない後ろから来る武器をなぜか感じて一瞬目をかわした。
Lay all my cards on the table.
何か言ったか。
One of the 2 episodes of Gundam that I've seen was literally Char and this woman together, so...
So they stick together for a while, that's good to know. I mean, if I figured out I had superpowers and one other person did too, I'd probably want to hang out with them a little bit.
監督さん、すまない。言い過ぎるまでには返すよ。なら、本当に家には帰りたくないから、遠いところに行こうか。
どこ遠いところって
Space is the place.
アメリカジャパン
違う。もっと遠い
To the outer edge of space.
星の世界だ。
軽はずみな者どもの暴挙でジオンとの関係は決定的に悪くなった。世界は行くところまで行かねばならんようだ。
Gop. Yeah, what a name.
RX78 計画はうまくいっているかね。
That's the name of Gundam.
君はドクター・ミノフスキーの一番弟子だったな。
はい。
Already stealing secrets hasn't even been a couple months. They're not even production.
How is that stealing secrets?
君の率直な意見を聞かせてくれ。
You literally learned under the guy. It's literally your knowledge, right?
MS04。
モビルスーツと呼ばれているらしい。
Oh, they're one ahead.
Well, they sold the PowerPoint.
Oh, that's right. The PowerPoint one they were talking about doing it. I thought they were calling that one MS03, though.
Hmm.
そのままお待ちください。
エリア、青枠。
知られていないゾーンだ。
Looking more like a Zaku now.
工作機会がありましたな。
我がジャブロー基地建設の現場にも。
いいえ、あれとは違うものです。全く違うと言っていいほど進化を遂げている。
Only he recognizes the danger.
8.7 Gs, it looks like. You're not really doing a good job pixelating. I can read that.
That's at 80%, round 40-ish.
100ミリの実体だ。
戦車砲レベルですな。
貨物船ですよ。
Yeah, it's like an orange Zaku. Also, why would you be testing on a cruise liner, basically? Not a
I
great
mean, I guess
look.
they had one handy.
こけ脅しですな。
我が艦船なら100ミリ弾で沈むわけはない。これなら我が軍の新開発の MBT RCX の
Gun cannon?
ガンキャノンの方が。
いや、もうドクター・ミノフスキーがついに完成させたのです。ゴップ将軍、先ほど
この映像はミノフスキー博士のルートで入手と言われましたか。
外で話そうじゃないか、レイ君。
You're asking too many questions.
ミノフスキー博士が
引き抜いたということだな。
What is this asshole up to?
Apparently,
Anaheim.
everything in the background.
See, back to Anaheim again.
レイ主任。
月ですか。
博士はジオニック社の工場の
It just seems like Minovsky is like out to cause chaos, right? Alright, well, I gave them the weapons of mass destruction. Better give them to the other people,
ミ
too.
ノフスキー博士にどれほどの価値があるか判断がつきかねていたが、さっきの君の評価で分かった。遠いコロニーから来てもらってまた出張で申し訳ないが。面白い
More
ものだね、
traveling.
レイ君。
Guess I'll have to leave my 12-year-old son alone.
アマゾンの遥か彼方のジャブローは見えないが、もっと遠い月はよく見える。宇宙というのは案外狭いものなのかもしれないね。
That's what space is known for. Being smaller than you
ミノ
think.
フスキー博士がトップに立つことになれば、サイドセブンでの君のプロジェクトもさらに進展するだろう。
ちゃんと食べるのよ。じゃあね、また明日。早く起きるのよ。遅刻しちゃダメよ。バイバイハロ。バイバイブラウン。アムロ君のお父様ですか？はじめまして。
Just hanging out with your son, don't mind me.
Yeah, I don't think the other two were,
クラスメートです。
the other two that you were saying were on side 7 or on side 7. That's Fra Bo, she just said.
仕事
Not the girl you thought she was.
でもアムロ君のことですけど、いつも一人なのがかわいそうで、もっと話とかしてあげてください。
Man, if only you didn't have a deadbeat father that never showed up.
すみません。さよなら。
アムロ、帰ったぞ。
What did I tell you about having girls over?
Can't believe you ordered fast food like 4 times over there.
片付けろ。汚い。また出張だ。今度は月まで行かなくちゃならん。とても大事な仕事だ。コーヒーを入れてくれ。
I mean, at least he made it into a ball.
これからマス
Roll out of the way of danger.
お前もアムロ。ズボンを履きなさい。だらしない。はい。そんな格好で女の子を家に入れていたのか。たく、いつになったら大人になるんだ。
I don't know,
I'm
you
going
see
to
your
remember
son
this.
crawling out of the corner with wearing just underwear and he had a girl over. I think he's already grown up.
I'm going to remember this when we watch the real series, that Amuro Ray is the type of person to not get dressed, never clean up, and doesn't even know how to make coffee.
あと少しの辛抱です。
How the hell did Zeon let Minovsky get poached like this? These people are
Good
willing to
question.
bomb liners before. How did he get through a spaceport untouched?
着きました、閣下。降りよう、キャサリン。
そうね。ベルクマン少佐。
No clue.
ミノフスキー博士は
Interesting.
スペースポートから直接ジオニック社へ向かうそうです。
Your Excellency, but with a Zeon escort. It's a confusing bit to me.
キャサリン、そのままでいいかな。
そのままでいいかな、キャサリン。
そうね。
She didn't just, like, she's not wearing a wig, right? This is not somebody we know with a wig.
I don't think so. It took a few seconds to hit, but the moon is pitch black on the dark side, especially at night. It's always pitch black.
その間に小休止ぐらいは取れるんでしょうね、大尉殿。いいホテルがあるとは言わんが、 先乗りした赤いのが途中でコーヒーを入れて待っているよ。そいつだ。
That was MASH, I think.
ろくに訓練もしねえで MS 乗りになったって言うじゃねえですか。士官学校大学
Ortega, right?
ものだってね。どうする大佐に取り入れやがったんだ。
And the other guy.
Oh, this could just be Char's returned back to space again.
They literally said the red guy. We already know Char drives a red mobile suit. Or is it Rao? No, it's Rao.
Yeah, there he is.
I got thrown because I took a second to look over at you. We're walking across the surface of the moon to assault, I assume, the Federation base that Tem is at?
Yeah.
Or Minovsky. We don't know if Tem got there yet.
リークはうまくいったようね。
カッカ、博士がもう。いや、失礼しました。もとい、キャサ。
I'm just a bit thrown because we watched Legend of the Galactic Heroes, where everybody above Admiral is called Excellency.
光栄です。ミセスキャサリン。一つお尋ねしてよろしいでしょうか。
何かしら。
これは決してもよろしいでありますか。
お好きになさい、ミスターベルクマン。
Oh, they chose the wrong person for this secret mission, I think. They really did.
そうよ。物好きだったかしら。どこかムードのいい。
I just can't, I don't know who they are. Catherine is being called Your Excellency, and she has a Zeon officer escort.
Mm-hmm.
困るんだよ。迷惑なんだよ。うちとしては。わざわざサイドセブンから来てくれた君には悪いけどね。そりゃあ聞いているよ。ミノフスキー博士の亡命の件はね、ここへ来ることも知っとる。だがね、何をしに来ると言うんだ今さら。しかし、アナハイム社が引き抜いたとゴップ将軍は本社がしたことだ。何にも分かってない。いいかね。すこぶる順調なのだよ。
I don't know what that one refers to.
I
know the other one they mentioned is Tem's project, which is the Gundam itself. I guess that's it. There. Anaheim is already gearing up, I guess.
ジオニック社では MS-04 が予算オーバーでスペックを落とした MS-05 を開発中だってね。情報は全部入って。
Oh, we're already 5 in now.
Yeah, I mean they keep making designs.
いらんと思うがね。当面 RX78 は。ああ、そうだ。博士には君が教えおこうといい。恩師なんだろう、君の。
I anticipate all these people to soon be dead. Because we know there's a Zeon force walking across the moon to get here.
It's the machine you made.
The gun cannon. And no, his is a different thing. Remember, that's the RXC-76 or something.
I'm having trouble parsing what he does want.
Thames is the RX-78. That was the RCX or RXC-76. They're different ones.
Mm-hmm. I love the wine rack there.
It's a lot bigger on the inside. That looks like on the outside.
It's like a 6-wheeled limo, so I guess.
Can't let the drivers know where we're going, I guess.
Well, this is how they're stealing him.
こちら TYM 計画を実行した受け入れの準備を頼む
Oh, I'm getting vertigo there.
グラナダ市街を出たルート1を西へ走行中10時間後アブルーワファに到着予定すべて計画通り現在博士はこの地点ですまだ長旅だ出迎えがいるなスミス海に高熱源体の移動確認ジオンの新しい人型兵器と思われます
There we go. The very first mobile suit battle in history.
Oh, here we go.
たったの4機か敵兵中隊を出せ中隊全部ですかそうだ牛刀で鶏を裂くような真似はしたくないが所詮は大事だからな
The Gundam equivalent of the Monitor versus the Merrimack.
ガンキャノンの実践をぜひこの目で見たい モビルスーツが出てきているのか
Why would you go out there?
Seems like a poor plan, but hey, you know, we gotta have our spectator camera.
I thought he was gonna do it like from the monitors. Like, I want to be in this room. I want to watch what's happening.
I love a bit of the slow-mo moon motion there.
To be fair, Iron Cavalry is a pretty badass name for a mobile suit squadron. Remember, still 1976. Discos are a thing.
Gotta go clubbing.
That hairstyle is still pretty good back then.
虎の子の敵兵中隊を出したようです
そう最高の夜になりそうじゃないの
Like I said, I'm serious. Is that Cassilia with like a hair thing going on, or I'm trying to figure it out.
Be.
I don't know who else would be here being called Excellency.
月のトワイライトか貴様若いやつか聞いていた場所と違うではないかなぜビーコンを出せ質問にお答えしなければなりませんか当たり前だなんだ一平卒のくせにその態度はでは答えますビーコンは敵に察知されますそんなものがなくとも順位殿はここに来られたのでしょ
The it all worked out answer.
And to think, Ramba is here, next to Casval, and also doesn't know either.
Oh my gosh.
There's a reconnection.
Yeah, off-roading.
Oh, they're loaded up in what, like a dropship?
Ooh, yeah.
So 12 of them. It's Mako from Mass Effect. How they must have envisioned that game going. The Mako scenes.
It's got better physics for sure.
But why? Well, certainly, if they kill him here, no, Minovsky does not come back.
Oh, we'll know for sure in like another 10 minutes.
赤いモビルスーツを1機確認。さらに前方に4機。博士の車も確認。5機。4機じゃ
Yeah, why would you think you're safe?
まあいい。
Sure hope one of these things doesn't have someone's dad in it.
I don't think Ray's dad is up on one of the ships here. These
He's
are, like,
flying
assault
out there
rifles.
because he wants to see what's going on. The genius in a moment of stupidity. So 5 MS3s versus 12 RXC 76s. I'm never gonna get the first 3 letters right.
I mean, it sounds right.
Yeah, I just know that there's a C and an X at the end.
Fire in line.
I think they already stated why the 5 are superior. Is that they went way over budget. That they had to make a stupider model. So these are like the Elite 5.
Right, versus the mass production stuff over here, which is clearly not as heavily armored. It probably helps they didn't get direct shots with those cannons either.
I mean, even still, the 5 aren't even scratched.
Every single one misses.
ダメです部長。戦闘中です。これ以上は近づけません。バカ者。何のためにここに来ているんだ。センサーから目を離すな。
I mean, literally, Minovsky can turn the tide of the war, apparently. Yeah, why did you fly so close to the battlefield?
Classic char maneuver, just shoot the bridge.
Thank God it's a fucking Gundam series where that works, by the way.
I know. Oh, that is a beautiful looking explosion there.
Already pulled out axes, too. We came equipped with melee weapons.
The classic. Oh, that one took all the shots.
Yeah, they take quite a few hits.
But yeah, they're showing off to be way more mobile. And leaping off each other's shoulders too? That's crazy. I love it.
I can't tell if that guy's still alive or not. Fuck that other guy in the back, right?
Yeah. So guys, you remember there's an objective, right?
Oh well.
Oh, he's gonna watch him die.
Dude's about to get crushed. Still don't get why he tried to defect.
He's an old man in a spacesuit. I don't blame him for anything here.
No, not why he tried to run, why he tried to defect.
Oh. I guess it's up to Ray's dad to give us that answer.
Especially because he's on the side, here and now. That feels so very right in what they're doing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you defect to the guys that are killing people in the streets?
ジオンに組みして戦争に協力することはできません。同じ月面都市としてフォン・ブラウンとは長年友好を保ってきました。その関係の破壊を想定したようなお話には
Okay, so the moon is neutral territory to side independence versus Earth control.
そう、ご苦労様。ラルタイによろしく伝えて。市長、私の部下がスミス海で連邦の機械化兵団一個中隊を全滅させたそうよ。知っておかれ
You're no longer quite so neutral
ジオンに
now.
はもうこれくらいの力があるのです。
そんなバカな。すぐにギレン首相に確認を。
ギレン総帥と呼びなさい。
Oh, are we already declaring?
は共和国ではなく公国となるのです。父デギンが皇王として立ち。
It has to be her.
It is Kaisila. She admits it there. Got it.
確認しなければ。
キロを気をつけて。グラナダの夜は物騒だから。
So the official declaration of the Principality of Zeon.
戦争のことを知っているの。私はただ連邦側と同等の戦力をこのグラナダに駐屯させたいと要求しただけなのに、ここを拠点にフォン・ブラウンを攻めるなんて一言も言ってない。
それは
キシリア機関におしゃべりはいらないわ。
すみません。
She just named the secret agency after herself. I love it.
While in also a disguised name.
それはもういいのよ。
It's gotta be a wig.
But gosh, I knew that guy was ruining everything there.
I honestly expected a car bomb. That's some ramming shit. God, we are handling this like the Cold War.
It kind of is. It's all a prelude to an actual full-blown conflict.
No, I just mean like spy novel shit.
まるで一言だな、レイ君。君も関係者なんだぞ。そうだ。
Yeah, because all your designs suck. They weren't mine.
They weren't his designs, Griff. You keep saying this. He has one design, the RX-78. See?
And I'll take the last remaining knowledge of how to develop this stuff.
ジオニック社の軍門に下るんですね。ミノフスキー博士は我が社に協力すべく亡命を図られましたが。
Thus begins the long line of speeches in front of a poster of a dead guy.
お助けできなかった。博士の意志を継ぐべきです。
そう言ってもな。
お気持ちはわかりますけど。
ご心配なく、プロジェクトは進行しています。もう一息なのです。
I will have my Gundam.
See, RX-78.
The paint job's way cooler.
コードネームはガンダム。
I colored it specifically so you can shoot it from anywhere in space.
He sensed it.
帰ってきたのかな。
Well, I mean, if Char's a new type, Amuro obviously has to be a new type, right?
鍵をかけていかなかったんだ。
I at least appreciate this one. Haru is only half double sentence repetition. Problem
That's right,
of
your father
control
developed
AI.
weapons.
Can we circle the head and said problem of control AI? Model arm not to scale.
I like this office though. This is nice.
And we're just pumping through the years.
We sure are. We're not gonna have much time left for the last two.
So he gives the Zeon speech. That should have happened 5 years ago. That's right, that's my guys.
レビューそろそろジャブローへの移転を実行すべき時かな。そうですな。ギレンザビはどんなことでもする男です。わからないものだね。まさかこの時代にまた戦争とは。歴史的な独立宣言から一夜が明けました。こちらはジオンの議会ビル前です。まさに行ってきます。
気をつけてね。
Yeah. What does all of this mean to a bunch of kids on another colony, right?
Yeah, it means nothing.
9世紀末は新たな対立と貧困の時代となり、アムロ君、アムロ君。
You've ruined your textbook.
Those are school property, you know.
That's kind of sad, actually. I would be terrified to live here.
Oh yeah? Constant construction, mopeds everywhere.
The sky, man. I would never know if those panels were, like, the constant fear of running out of air.
Yeah. The lamest teenagers ever. Yeah, oh, you're falling asleep at the wheel, Amuro.
Coincidence.
This is our Christmas movie. It's like Die Hard. We mentioned Christmas once.
I mean, we're recording this some 10 days before Christmas. To be fair, they did jump 2 years in this episode to Christmas. What a lovely mascot.
Oh, it's adorable.
God, I wish I'd been paying attention to the top scroll more.
It's a period of a lot of information here.
Which sides are associated with Zeon and which aren't.
Oh, that's ominous.
The war had been declared. Oh, episode 1 start, right?
Hey,
Maybe?
yeah, we're right back here now.
And she came back.
Oh, yeah.
They're such weirdly designed ships.
Oh, yeah, no, they're funny for sure.
ひどいことになった。
どこへ行くの？
友達のとこ約束してたから。
Especially when you've already designed mobile suits to point out how ships are like outdated and easy to destroy. But let's still build a ton of ships.
ようこそフラウ。どうぞごゆっくり。いつもお利口ね、ハロ。汚いところですが。
I want the Haro to just start sassing Amuro. It's like, Amuro hasn't cleaned up in 5 months.
アムロ君来ないの？ラザニア冷たくなっちゃうよ。
I mean, he's been studying the design of the Gundam for a long time now. It's not born, I swear!
You're just on your computer looking at it.
ばっかりしてるのよ。戦争になってたくさん死んでる人がいるのに。
Not all about you, Amuro. Other people need support too.
I do like Amuro's sway of emotions of just like, I don't know how to respond to this.
食べるよ。戦争のことだって本当は怖いんだ。
Look, the one thing I can side with the most is not being able to know what to do when a girl's crying in front of you.
僕には何もできないから。
At these
The
points,
mood, it returns.
at these points, I never feel less human. What are these human emotions that you're feeling? Tell me about them.
I love these action shots, they're just good.
Really selling the figurines.
ララ、今何をしている？
星を見ているわ。キラキラ瞬いてとても綺麗。
宇宙では星は瞬かない。
あら、そうなの？
いい子で待っていなさい。仕事が終わったらすぐ帰る。
I can't figure out how he's treating her.
So far, it seems like he's just hanging around, I guess.
Well, I mean, he's like, be a good girl and everything like that. It's like, is he treating her like a little sister, like Sayla? Like, if Sayla was still around? Or is he treating her like a romance interest?
I mean, to be fair, Char is naturally condescending to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it reads like either he's treating her like a Sayla replacement, or he's treating her like a romance interest, and I just have no idea which one it is. I
You just hit me with the big truth right there.
I
Yes,
will also-
Tracer, you're right.
And I'll also say this, the one episode that I've seen of the original show that had her in it and him together, I wouldn't be able to tell you either. I just have no idea. I don't know if she's a Sayla replacement or a romance interest.
There's those two, or is she like there because of new type shenanigans and she's doing something in the background we're not entirely aware of?
Well, I
or...
assume he picked her up because of the new type shenanigans. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is somebody who's doing something I can do. You know, I haven't seen anybody else in the world like this. But at the same time, I don't know, just the way he talked to her there and the way he's been talking to her since we saw her feels like how he treats Sayla, or treated Sayla back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like he literally went out and rescued her in the same way that he went out and saved Sayla during the assault in Spain. So it's very much, I don't know, it has the appearance of a romance interest, but the verbal communication, everything, it's just like, do you miss your sister? Is this what's going on?
Char is a land of contrast. Like last time we were debating like how much does he actually feel about like the people he's manipulating, and like the reaction he had when he heard zabi men don't fail, right? And I think he does actually have genuine emotion here. I think he does actually care. I think this might actually be a relationship. It's kind of off screen, but I think it's there.
I mean,
I think that's the text.
he mustered out, but he didn't go look for Sayla, as far as we know. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's weird.
Question, where is she right now?
He went to medical school, remember?
Oh, right. Could
They
be anywhere.
probably said where, but I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had been keeping my own, in my notes about everything that's going on in the series and keeping track of all the characters on my concept board. I've also been writing my own, this happened in this year, this happened in this year. These people, specific people, died in this year.
Mm-hmm.
My own little timeline thing. And I'm pretty sure I would have written down where Sayla went at some point, but I don't think it's on my thing.
Right, in that case, it probably just goes without saying, and they're probably not going to mention it specifically. Which, fine. But yeah, no, we're at the start of the war now.
I guess also worth pointing out, Amuro Ray, age 13, arrives at Side 7 in year 76, which means that he's 16 at the start of the war, when Char is 22.
Okay. I'm just trying to picture this in my head to make sure it's all straight.
Well, with last episode,
teenagery here, and he didn't before. I was wondering how much time it actually passed.
Episode where he arrives, I don't remember where it says it, but it says that he's 13. That's why I wrote down that he was 13. But
right.
Yeah, that's 3 years later. So here at the start of the war, he is 16.
So we at least have his starting point so far. He's more aware of his father's work that's intimately tied to the war. His father seems to be just entirely on board with making the best machine.
Well, he spent a couple of months to a year literally just studying his dad's records, which also then indicates his dad has not come home in a couple of months to a year to notice that his son has been going through his records or in his locked room.
Yeah, his father seems very obsessive about this. I was trying to get a read the entire time on him, right? About, what is it, his opinions on this? Is he, asking to go out to the battlefield to see, this is the horror that we brought with our machines? Or it's no, he's just excited.
He literally was right where I told you he was going to be. He was just as close to being shot down. I don't understand why the Zeon guys that were shooting out every airship in the area didn't shoot him when he was close enough to, watch dude get crushed. Alright, hold on. Let's see. Do we get something? No? Okay.
No.
Last time we got the Amuro arriving at Side 7 post-credit.
Right.
So, couldn't tell if that was coming or not.
I figured they just thought it was a civilian craft and they didn't need to do anything about it.
What would they care? They're practicing their firing shots on civilian craft. That's paramount to being trained to fire on civilian craft.
Oh, gosh. Good question. Well, the real answer is because he can't die yet, because he has to be in the main series.
Well, we don't know that.
I'm pretty sure he's in the main
All
series.
the memes are about Amuro and Char. I've never heard Tem mentioned.
But yeah, what's your read on Tem, though? What do you think his opinions are on things?
On what things? I would need specific examples of
on
things.
The war, on the use of Gundam, on the building of these things. Does he just want really cool robots? Does he have an ideology?
I mean, he seems like well, God. Okay, trying to put Minovsky and Tem into, say, Manhattan Project area, right? Who's Oppenheimer in this scenario?
It would probably have to be Minovsky, right? If he were to have any opinion on it as the lead of all these projects, as the source of it, like, he'd be the one to say anything about, but he doesn't say anything about it either.
Well, again, we don't. Why did he fucking defect? He's like literally on the right side of history up to that point. We know that Zeon turns into the bad guys, but on the as far as history is going, he's on that side. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's in deep enough to see the writing on the wall. Maybe Casselia came and visited him too many times.
Maybe he heard Dozel was trying to marry one of his students and got weirded out by it.
We don't know how old Dozel is, so we can't say it's weird until we get a fucking age on this man.
I know, I'm just like, that's the only theory I got.
He could just be a mammoth of him. All I'm saying, he's in deep on like the whole design development thing on a secret project, and it's entirely possible he's been hearing all the back chatter. Like, we're about to start a war. And it's like, well, even then, though, you're designing fucking weapons. What did you think was going to happen? You don't design a gun not to be fired.
Right, we need, like, some statement, any kind of, like, basis of motive, like, I want to make a weapon that is the weapon to end all wars. Like, that would be like an Oppenheimer kind of statement, right?
Well, because, I mean, he stands in front of his CGI presentation to Kieran, and it's like, look at it, look what I can do, it's fucking amazing, you should continue the project. Like, Kieran was going to shut down the mobile suit shit, until he's like, look at it, it's amazing. So it's like, I don't understand, why did you suddenly try to turn to, he didn't really try to turn to the Federation. Well, I mean, technically it looked like he was going to, because the Federation came out to defend him. He was going to go to a neutral Anaheim Technologies, right? So,
well, Anaheim is obviously working for the Federation. He's literally is swapping sides.
Right, but their base is on the moon in neutral territory.
Right. And that would be the protection against having something happen, because it would be worse than, doing an attack. But they do it anyway.
Yeah,
and
because
thus starts the war. That's the thing they didn't expect.
Apparently the thing that Zeons hate most is neutrality. This is apparently the first places.
Hard and neutrals. You never know where they stand on things.
Well, the first places they took out in their Zeon declares war January 3rd is fuck those neutral moon bases. They had their chance. What makes a moon man
turn neutral?
Well, they had their fucking chance. So we landed forces and took them out.
I love that Kaisili was trying so hard for the secret mission and just has the worst goon of all, who not only doesn't fit the secret mission, but also ruins everything she was trying to do, because it starts the war, because he's the one who, like, sent the mobile suits out there to get Minovsky out back in the first place. That's why he shot at the end, right?
No, I think you misread that. He didn't start the war. They started the war the same day that they declared independence, which happens not a lot further out, maybe a month later. He also didn't send them out. They started out before the operation even started from her. Because you see them at the beginning, like, okay, we're marching out, gotta cross the entire fucking moon to get there. And then she lands sometime later. He ruined the operation by spilling the beans on the other moon city being a threat or something like that. Because the chairman of the city or whatever it was, the guy who gets killed in the ram from the other car, he says something about the other city, and after he leaves, she looks to him. I didn't tell him anything about that. I didn't want him to know. Boom, boom. 2 in the chest.
And now she's closed all the things. Kaisili is a slick-ass operator, I gotta say. She gets everything done.
She can pull off a disguise better than anybody else, apparently, because literally saw her and, like, I think that's Kaisilia, but I am legitimately not sure.
And we learned the most important thing about Kycelia today as well. She can disco. She can dance.
I mean, I don't care.
Look, I was like having it in my head this whole time. I was like, this is Kycelia, the artillery murderer, just dancing.
Well, I'm looking at her, right, and it's like, okay, Cecilia has really short hair. She always keeps it really short. This could be a wig, but that doesn't look like a wig. And it's not a dye job because she has short
But it's her
hair.
voice the entire time. It's just like, wait, no one said the name. I'm not sure.
Well, that's why I'm trying to place the voice. And it's like,
Yeah.
do those facial features look right? I'm gonna be damned if I call this guy Celia and they're Catherine in the show. And it's like, okay, this has got to be Cecilia. And then it's like, at least I said it enough that I thought it was her, leading up to. That's why the Cecilia secret agent group or whatever. It's like, okay, it's fucking her. At least I'm vindicated.
She's so secret. She's secret even from the audience. But yeah, no, this was. I think, funnily enough, the show did continue the trend of this episode of just giving us a moment with each of the Zabi family that is, a normal ass human moment. We got Kycelia dancing, we got Dozo like doing his best to like actually ask someone out, which is kind of adorable. And we had Garmin and his father just like
Garmin
being father and son for
the
a bit.
toilet paper company.
Sorry, I'm terrible with names. Garma.
I'm fearful of your definition of normal. Literally, Dozel says, every time I keep reading his name, I think Doozle sticks. Dozel is like, bear my children to the girl he's had 2 interactions with. The second time was literally bear my children. And again, I think something hideously sinister is up with Deikun and Garma, because I'm not reading that well, Griff.
I'm trying to take the most generous interpretation.
Why?
Here, which is the only way
He's
works.
the obvious bad guy. We know.
Because I think the interpretation works better when you look at it as like these are all normal interactions of people who have feelings and do things, and then you flip back to the other side where Kycelia is running a secret agency, kills like 2 people in cold blood. Another one is running a secret mobile suit program that is literally designed to start their independence war on neutral territory. And another one, last time, literally manned an assault in the dead of night and an ambush against people who they were literally hanging out with an hour before.
Grip, you don't have to create a false facade that doesn't exist to make them more interesting. You're pretending.
They're interesting because these things do exist within them. It is fun to watch them because it is not just
they're not a happy loving
people.
They are. They are, Griff. They're not a happy loving family that you're just lying for some reason to make up. We already know that Deikun wouldn't get into his car unless Garma rode with him. One, back then, because we thought Cecilia was going to car bomb him for some reason. Now it's more insidious, now that we don't fucking know what he's doing to his kids, to the point that massive mountain that is Dozel is about to piss his pants because his dad is yelling at him, because God knows what he did when he was younger. Handcuffing Cheek Garma here. I'm saying there is insidious shit going on in the Zabi household.
I do have to say, I think maybe your mind is just in the gutter. That's okay. But
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Griff. We say gutter when it's like, oh, you're just being naughty. That's not gutter. If I'm like, God, we gotta call the CPA on this guy, that's not gutter, Griff. That is actual fucking concern and disgust. I think Deikun, the fat lard ass who does this in his chair all the time, has a cushion right here, specifically because he's not getting up, is getting some shit done with kids. I think I basically said it now. I think Deikun is diddling his kids.
I disagree in the text that we've seen.
I think I've seen enough, Griff, that I think that's what's happening. That he's abusing his kids in different ways. And he's like, he literally tells Garma, you've got to keep your body fine. He said that in the same scene, and he cupped his cheek.
Until we see the text, I'm gonna wait.
I'm
But
definitely
in terms of
sure,
other
Griff, that this
families
is
to
the only
look
thing
at-
we're going to go allude to. We're never going to fucking see it. They're not going to put that in a goddamn anime. I hope.
I'm sure there's other animes where it's happened, but
I'm sure, but I mean, not like the number one mobile suit anime of all time. I think we would have heard something about that. That's not
Right.
something you just let go.
the other family relationship here, though, between Amuro and Teb, like
Tem.
it is absolutely abysmal, isn't it?
I mean, it could be worse.
Nothing at all. Complete ignorance of his child, and just like demanding, like, yeah, just make me some coffee.
He literally sits down at the last episode and says, "You're going to be the man of the house, and you're going to be responsible keeping things up." He literally has a sit down and talks to him. I mean, Griff, you can't say it's actually the worst, coming off of the conversation about another family that we just had. Literally, I
know. I'm being a little bit hyperbolic in it.
It could be worse.
I
is
never
my point.
anticipated it would be like this kind of like ambivalence, right?
He's just hyper focused on another thing. Like I said, it could be worse. And
Teb is.
Tem.
I guess maybe the best way to look at it is Teb is that hyper focused type of nerd who is interested in his project and is definitely not thinking about the external consequences of his actions. Teb is not sitting there thinking, sorry, isn't it Teb? I keep hearing Teb.
I keep correcting you every time. It's Tem. T-E-M. Tem.
Tem. Okay, Tem. Sorry. I kept hearing a B. But so Tem is not the type of person who seems like he's thinking about these are weapons of war and I am part of the machine that creates them and I am as responsible as anyone else. He doesn't seem to care. He's not thinking about the external of like, I'm not here specifically for my son, so I'm not doing everything I can for him. He's just like, I'm doing a cool project and I told him to do the stuff and he should be doing the stuff. Why is he not doing it?
He very much does see it that way. He literally got into a council meeting with everyone and says, "We're 12-0. That's how he introduced it. He very much cares. He sees that you're failing. We need to kick their asses back.
That's an even darker light though to shine on him. Just I didn't think that's what we were getting, but it looks like it's what we're getting. So, color me shocked. I've learned something today.
Oh, you learned a couple things, like his name, and
not for long. Not if I can help it. So, Theta, you got any more observations you want to make today?
I think everything I've got is probably going to hold until the next recording when I get it all into with Theta's thoughts bundle.
Yeah, there we go. In that case, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here for today. This has been Face Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Face Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?